UFC Qatar was one of the better fight cards of 2025. We had a main event that likely dictates the next lightweight title challenger. We had a co-main event that's opening up the doors to dictate the next welterweight challenger. And we had a whole bunch of fights that absolutely delivered. My name is Angelo. This is Josh Thompson, and welcome to a What's Next episode of Bad Takes, where we talk about the matchups to make next. I thought UFC Qatar was a fantastic fight card, and we were coming off the heels of what I thought was a little underwhelming UFC 322. Did you agree? Like, UFC Qatar was just a good card. It was just fun.
No, I thought it was a fantastic card. I think I rated it like a 9. I thought it's 1 to 10. I gave it a 9. I thought, look, it was right up there. I'm not really quick to give 10s out there, but a 9.5, or I had it at a 9. It was up there.
I can't think of a bad. I'm looking at the whole lineup right now. Actually, the only shitty fight was the opener with Denzel Freeman.
And I didn't watch that fight.
The heavyweights just stared. It was the most typical heavyweight fight of all time.
I saw that there was a guy that did some bets. He does like this trifecta parlay or whatever it is. And I think $2,000 would have won him like $100,000.
You're talking about Matty Betts in the cycle parlay.
Yeah, is it called the cycle parlay? Yeah, it's like a baseball thing, I guess. Yeah, I don't watch baseball, so I don't know. Anyways, it like a submission, a knockout, and a decision, I think is what it is. Sure. But yeah, ultimately, I think he lost it on the first leg. but yeah, it was one of those.
That fight sucked. The other 13 fights were very good. And when I rate cards and when I, judge how good a card was or was not, I factor in, does the fight matter? Is this just a fun fight that doesn't matter? Or does this fight actually matter? The co-main mattered. The main event mattered. The Waldo Cortez-Acosta fight mattered. There was a lot of fights that actually mattered. I thought it was a great card overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know we do this episode, I did my takes already last night on my live show, and you were supposed to join, but you were holding down Thanksgiving with the fans.
I told you. I said Sunday's going to be tough. It's our Thanksgiving.
I had nice things to say about you on the pod. Okay? I was telling people that, hey man, he's got family time, he's got family visiting in town, and and then the wife pulled his dick and said, hey, you got to stay here. Okay. You cannot.
I wish you'd pull it.
You can't. He said, no, you cannot leave to go film. You got to sit here and eat with the rest of us. So, and heaven forbid you miss a meal. I mean,
the funniest part is I don't have any family here. It's all my wife's family. My brother-in-law got tickets to the Cowboys game and they haven't been. His kids have never been. So we were like, yeah, of course, dude, go. So then our family Thanksgiving became us and Casey, who you've met, Tiffany's cousin and their family. So we're like, we're not making this huge Thanksgiving, whatever. So we just went to the Mexican restaurant and we ate there. Then we just came back. The kids swam in the hot tub and we just drank and hung out. So
that's awesome.
It was definitely not what a normal Thanksgiving was supposed to be, but it was still a good time and family.
I mean, we moved here not knowing anybody. I mean, no Rich Chow and them, they moved here the year before us. So we kind of knew them. And I had another person that moved here in 2019. So we knew a couple people, just two families. I get what you're saying though. Having just over your close friends and one or two, and you guys go have dinner somewhere, or you guys just, basically make whatever's there in your house. I've got 5 steaks. Let me just cook those up. Okay. What else we got? Got a little bit of pork belly. Let me cook that up, throw some broccoli and have a good time. Everyone sits around, have a couple cocktails, and you enjoy some football, man. Sounds like a great night, to be honest. I was a little jealous.
That's literally what we did. We just ended up having drinks and we watched the Cowboys game. My brother-in-law in person, us at home, and it ended up being a freaking game, dude.
It was awesome.
I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I was like, this is incredible.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, and the Eagles have been whooping their ass for the last couple of years. And so this was a very good game, man. I was about to turn it off, but it was 21-7 going in at half, and I was like, oh, it's over. They're not doing anything.
Nothing, wasn't it? Or they scored right before
half. 21-3 or 21-7. This 21-7 at half. Yeah. Okay. Look, let's get back on track. Okay. You got to we talked about food and family and stuff. I did my what next. Let me just give you who I want, so it gives you a little bit of time to think this over and see if I'm on the right path. Obviously, Arman.
Wait, you're just gonna go bang, 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 bang?
No, just one. I'll go one at a time. But let me go first, just so we can go on. This.
I got it.
I've already described mine, so these people have already heard it probably. Arman Tsarukyan. There's no other person for him to fight except for Ilia. Am I correct? Okay.
And they said this was a number 1 contender. So that's what they said. He delivered too. He didn't squeak out a win. He wasn't boring. Who the hell else at this weight class has done anything in the last year? It has to be Arman. And I am now fully convinced, as a typical fair weather fan, fully convinced Arman Tsarukyan beats Ilia Topuria.
Okay, so I've got little birdies telling me that basically January's card is going to be Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're fine with that.
I am, only because Arman deserves it more than Paddy.
Yeah.
But Paddy at least is on a nice win streak. He's running his mouth. He's fun. I'll watch the Paddy fight. And the Paddy fight is like, that's not. I would be more upset if it was freaking Justin Gaethje. I love Justin Gaethje. He's a dying breed of fun. Has he ever fought Dan Hooker? They should fight each other if they have not.
That'd be a great fight.
I just matched that fight up. That's my answer officially for the Dan Hooker side.
Okay.
But like, Justin Gaethje is a dying breed of exciting. What he's not is a title challenger. Not at this point. Like, that's a waste of a fight. And it could be fun with Ilia, but save Justin for a BMF fight or just an exciting, co-main event or a main event on a fight night. Like, I'm okay with Paddy because he's on a win. He's never lost in the UFC. We haven't seen him lose. So I'm okay with Paddy.
I think that they're trying to get Ilia a win to say he's defended the title, and then that sets it up perfectly for Islam and Ilia, either on the International Fight Week or on the White House card. I think that that's what they're really trying to do. Look, he's defended the title. It's just he can go ahead and go up to 170 now. He's done everything he possibly can. Let's get him a win against Paddy. They can sell that to people. And Arman's going to end up fighting for probably a vacant title if he does go up, or he's going to have to wait until Ilia comes back down after he loses to Islam.
And I don't, my body's rejecting what I'm about to say. I don't think that it's necessarily he's going to run through Paddy. He should beat Paddy. The striking is so freaking clean. He's powerful. And Paddy's chin is like ridiculously. You could fit a volleyball between his chin and his chest. Like that dude, what are the drills with the tennis ball? Like, you could literally put an entire volleyball. Like, that dude's head is wide up in the air. But he is massive and he's a scout, so we don't get knocked out. So it's not crazy that Paddy can make it. We watched Bryce Mitchell take down Ilia Topuria, and that just like plays in my head over and over. That's like, dude, Arman will take him down, Islam will take him down, and they'll keep him down. Paddy's not quite in their category, but I think Paddy's a great precursor to what an Arman fight or an Islam fight, at least in the same universe, could be. Nobody else is trying to take him down.
He just hasn't been challenged or tested yet against the top guys like the Justin Gaethjes or the Max Holloways. He hasn't had one of those big names outside of Michael Chandler, which is a washed old Michael Chandler.
Destroyed Michael Chandler.
It was vicious. It was nasty. It was actually, I really enjoyed watching that. But it was that fight. It was that fight that catapulted him into this conversation. But we know that Michael's washed. And so we're like, I haven't seen a big enough sample size on him against top level competitions like a Dan Hooker or like a Justin Gaethje and those guys, right? Like, I want to see him against those guys in the top 5. One fight. Just give me one.
I think Arman certainly deserves it more. He absolutely deserves it more. But I'm not upset at the Paddy one. I'll watch it. I'll look forward to it. I don't think it's crazy.
I'm going to definitely watch it because I like watching Paddy. Paddy in the lead up to it. I think it'll be a fun action-packed fight. You said Dan Hooker. And you said
Justin Gaethje.
You said Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, the only reason why I didn't match that up is Justin Gaethje's made it very clear he wants a title shot, and that's it. Or he'll retire.
You got to win more than one fight over Rafael Fiziev. Like, that's the win streak. One fight win streak.
You don't put any stock in like what he's done over his career.
Of course I do, but a title fight, it's supposed to be you have the belt, so you're the best fighter on planet Earth, and the person who fights you for the belt is the next best fighter on planet Earth. If it's not the next best fighter on planet Earth, it's only because you already beat the next best fighter on planet Earth. So you just work your way down that list. And I think Ilia, he hasn't defended the belt yet, but I don't think
fighting the best next fighter on planet Earth in that division. He's not fighting him.
So he knocked out Max Holloway already, who's number 4. He knocked out Charles Oliveira, who's number 5. Number 2 is Arman. So it's like, then obviously Justin Gaethje is number 6, but Paddy's number 7. So I am perfectly fine flipping Paddy and Justin because Paddy's on like a 7-fight win streak in the UFC alone. And Justin Gaethje was knocked out cold by Max Holloway last year, submitted by Charles Oliveira 2 years ago. And his only wins are Rafael Fiziev in a decision, Obviously, he beat Dustin Poirier, which was great, and then another Rafael Fiziev fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I wouldn't hate a Justin Ilia fight because I'm 100% sure Justin Gagey fights are exciting. I'm 1,000% sure, and I got to see him in real life fight freaking my friend Nick Newell with an illegal knee, by the way. But I'm perfectly fine with Paddy jumping over Justin. It's not an egregious jump. According to the rankings, it's just one little level. And Ilia's knocked everybody else out, and they're not going to give it to Arman because he just fought a week ago. So I'm fine with Paddy. If they say Arman, great. It should be Arman.
Yeah, I would like to see, like, for me with Dan Hooker, I put him with Saint Denis, or I put him with Moicano because he called out Moicano, and I don't hate that fight. Dan Hooker and Saint Denis though makes for a very good fight. The two of them standing, trading, banging it out. I think that is probably one of the fights that I think could potentially be fight of the year.
I prefer the Moicano one, only because Dan Hooker's, just lost. He got taken down. He got kind of, smoked on the ground. He kept jumping guard, thinking he was going to get that guillotine. It was a power guillotine at one point. You're like, and then arm and scramble skills he just rolled the other direction. He didn't even roll the way that you normally would roll. He rolled the other way and was totally fine. Got completely out of it. It was insane.
Insane how he did it inside the guard.
Yeah, he's just
like he did a full gator roll inside the guard. It was insane. And then you've got what? Who do you got here? You got Ian Gary,
Muhammad,
and you got Bilal Muhammad. I mean, for me, with Ian Gary, I had on a media guy today. We were talking that show will release throughout this week. Clips and edits from that will come. It's a great interview. Had a great time talking with Mike Bond, and fantastic, good insight on the media's perspective on who they kind of think should be next. He is talking that it's Ian Gary next.
No.
Okay, give me your reason why Ian Gary should not fight for the title next.
Because in the deepest the welterweight division has ever been, in the history of the welterweight division, this is the deepest it has ever been. While Ian Gary is doing something special here, he just lost last year to Shavkat. Shavkat's still in the mix. He's hurt. He's taking forever, but Shavkat's still in the mix. His last fight before Bilal Muhammad, he was almost finished in the 5th round. He survives. He makes it happen. But he had to start wrestling against MVP because he was losing the striking. He had to start wrestling against Carlos Prates. He did just beat Bilal Muhammad in a fight that was far more exciting than I thought it was going to be. I was convinced it was either going to be Ian avoiding everything, right? Staying as far away as possible, because that's how he's been fighting. Ian avoiding everything on the outside, or Bilal having success with the wrestling. I thought it'd be one or the other, and I figured it would be boring. It was not boring. They kind of got after it. Like Ian didn't fully engage, but they kind of got after it. I think it was a great win for Ian Gary. I think Ian is one of the better strikers in that division, without question. He already fought Carlos Prates, so you are kind of running out of options here. He was supposed to fight Joaquin Buckley. That was a fight that was booked. Just do that fight or the Michael Morales fight. If you don't give Michael Morales the title shot, have Ian and Michael Morales fight. And I hate this title shot, but then you can give Kamaru Usman the title shot. He's old, but he's the best, the best welterweight of all time, at least statistically speaking. You can just shove that down our throats.
I've said this for the longest time. I really enjoy the Kamaru Usman fight or the Michael Morales fight. Those are the two, not for Ian. I want for the title shot.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready to give Ian Gary the title shot.
No, you can give him Kamaru if Michael Morales, or the problem is you do have Shavkat there, who we keep forgetting about because it's been a year.
Yeah. I'm not really ready to jump that yet. I'll give Ian Gary a step up, though. I'll give him JDM.
That could be very fun. The former, yeah.
Two guys will stand and trade. They'll get after it. One's more of a kicker. He needs to get on this win track. And Ian Gary, if he answers that bell and he gets it, and he gets him and he beats him, I think there's a good that says everything we need to see. Look, the former champion, he's beat him, he's right there. Then I'll go ahead and say he can leapfrog Shavkat because he's been more active. And Shavkat coming in. But I look at that's the fight. Or you put him against Kamaru Usman, Ian Gary. You put him against Kamaru Usman, former champion. That's the guy that Islam wants to fight. If I beat him, but I like more of the JDM Ian Gary fight, and then you take either Michael Morales or Usman and have him fight Islam next.
Yep, I don't hate any of those matchups, but yeah, I don't think Ian Gary should get a title shot just yet.
No, not
He's
yet.
only 2 fights removed from a loss to an undefeated guy who is still available to fight.
His 5 fights, in his last 5 fights, all decisions. Where you got
Yeah,
guys
he's
like
not
Michael
exciting.
Morales and Shavkat. You got Michael Morales and Shavkat that have had finishes.
Yeah.
That's something like with Shavkat, right? He went the distance. He didn't go the distance with Jeff Neal. Finished him late in the 3rd round. But then he went
The
the
only
distance
decision
with Ian Gary.
Shavkat has is Ian Gary.
Exactly.
That's the
And
only one he has.
most of those finishes are in the 1st round.
Yep.
You know, outside of the Jeff Neal fight, which was in the 3rd, still a finish.
Yep.
So I don't know. There's the Ian Gary hype train. I'm just not on it yet. I thought he looked fantastic against Bilal Muhammad. I thought he looked great. That back oblique kick that he was landing was fantastic. That definitely stumped Bilal. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know how to shoot. Looked like it hurt his knee in one of the shots in one of the rounds. And you saw Bilal switching stances after it landed. Like it had an effect on the fight and the outcome of the fight as well. You know, the eye pokes. Did he cheat his way to a victory? What do you do with that?
If it didn't look that bad to me.
See, that's the thing, though. Eye pokes doesn't matter if they look bad. All they got to do is scratch the eye, and it hurts.
Bilal didn't even touch his eye to check it, or he wasn't blinking. Nothing.
2 eye pokes.
But he didn't even do this.
No,
I blink more in these videos because my contacts are dry.
We just went through this, though. Everyone's complaining. All the media is complaining. 1 point every time you get eye poked.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that shit. You can't do that shit.
That's what my complaint was.
Yeah, you can't do that.
This whole fight is changed, and it's upside down if we take 2 points in this situation.
Because I don't even think one of those eye pokes was an eye poke. We saw a fight earlier in that card. Shamrock faked an eye poke. Now, that's a wild accusation to make, and maybe he thought it was an eye poke, but it definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't. And the ref took his word for it. They looked at the camera and they're like, get back out there. Yeah. That wasn't an eye poke. So then if we go to the other side, there's a lot of fun matchups to make on both, because you can take, I got 2 matchups for Bilal. Either give him Joaquin Buckley. They've never fought before. They're both highly ranked. They both were on long win streaks until they lost. So give him Joaquin Buckley or the Kamaru fight. They hate each other. If you're going to give the title fight to Shavkat or Michael Morales, then do Kamaru and Bilal Muhammad. Because if Kamaru wins that, then you deserve a title shot. If you don't win that, then you didn't deserve a title shot to begin with. So go back down.
I would normally agree with you on the Kamaru thing, but Kamaru's at a stage in his career, and I think the UFC probably will justify this and be like, look, Kamaru was a long reigning champion. Bilal only defended the title 1 time, didn't even defend it, and lost it. Like he
only lost to 1 person at welterweight too. If I'm defending Kamaru, he only lost to Leon. Yeah, the Hamzat loss was middleweight on short notice, so he really only lost to Leon. And I thought he won the Leon rematch, and the first fight, the only reason he lost, he got head kicked with 30 seconds left.
I look at the fight with Bilal. I think, look, one of 2 things. I agree with you on the Buckley situation. That's a good fight. Or you just do the rematch with Sean Brady. Sean Brady needs a win. Bilal needs a win. One of them gets a win. That's kind of how the UFC has always done it, where 2 fighters coming off losses. And same thing with Buckley. Buckley's coming off a loss.
Yeah, I prefer the Buckley only because this division is so deep right now. We don't need to be repeating fights. It's a deep enough division. We have enough new matchups to make. Let's just do that.
Sense. Does make sense. Ozdemir looked absolutely fantastic.
He just ran forward and was busy. Yep. It's crazy.
What I liked of what he did, though, is he didn't rush his shots when he had him rocked against the fence. He was picking and choosing his shots, and that's why he got him out of there. He could have flurried and missed a lot of shots and potentially landed, potentially not. And he did a great job of finding the right mark, and he schlepped him. Done.
He did a good job. He just instantly created pressure. He moved forward immediately, got in Alonzo's face, and it's risky to do because Alonzo hits so freaking hard. Obviously, you don't fight as well backing up as you do moving forward, but he could have still backed up and landed a monster shot, and he kind of almost did, but Volkan did an amazing job throwing more. It was punches. It was knees. It was just a chaotic barrage forward. And Alonzo hated every bit of that pressure. Couldn't defend all of it. I think the knee is ultimate. Is the knee what did him in ultimately? I think it was a huge knee up the middle. And then he that's what had him slumped over.
Yeah, I thought he landed the hard shot that put him away, but it was the knee that hurt him, though, I believe.
Yeah.
But then, who do you have for Ozdemir and who do you have for Menifeld?
Menifield's tough. I mean, he's not a ranked guy, but he is a tough night out for a lot of people. So I think Menifield kind of just drops back down to give him a middle of the road guy. Let's see I don't know. Has he ever fought Johnny Walker's not quite middle of the road. He's right
I
outside
think
the
he's
top
fought
10
Johnny
now.
Walker twice. One was
Benefield?
no contest or a draw, and I think the other one, like I think he
That was
won.
Jimmy Crute. You're thinking Jimmy
Oh,
Crute.
okay. Sorry. That's
Yeah,
right.
so I mean, Menifield's, and that actually would be a huge step up
Mhm.
because Menifield's ranked much lower. You could use him to build like a Navajo Sterling, who they're trying to build. So you can use Menafield there to see how good he is or is not, or you can give him a fun fight like a Jan Kutalaba fight. Two guys, both of them kind of get finished or finish their people. Just do that and see what happens.
And for me, Ozdemir, I give him Zhang. You know, he's
Sure.
ranked 15. You know, he put him in the mix. You have to fight down a little bit in the rankings, but
Sure.
you know, I think ultimately it ends up being a stand-up fight. They both get after it. They both exchange, and someone's going to get probably knocked out and finished, and it's good for the fans. Neither one of them is really making a title run, to be honest. Not right now.
And they were hoping it would be Zhang until he got friggin' tired against Johnny Walker and then smoked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't hate the Zhang fight because then it's like if Zhang's not beating Ozdemir, he's a full-blown scrub. And if he does beat Ozdemir, it's like, all right, hey, we're right back. We're right back in the mix here.
Yeah.
So,
you got Orlby versus Hermanson. Where are you at on that?
Man, I going into that fight, I was pretty clear. I was like 38 years old, trying to reinvent yourself at a weight class 15 pounds lighter than the one you're in. That's the biggest jump in MMA. You should not do that. Not at 38 years old. You should not do that. That's a crazy thing to do. And then he got slept by a wrestler. So that just Jack Hermanson, I don't know what you do with Jack Hermanson now. He fell very far down the rankings. 2 bad knockout losses in a row. I mean, you can give him, I don't know, a Muslim Salikov, another old dude at this weight class who's, you know, kind of bouncing between getting knocked out and knocking people out. You can do that with him. I don't think it matters what you do with Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, if he stays at 70, and which is what I was anticipating him possibly doing, is I say you put him against someone like a Gunnar Nelson. But is Gunnar Nelson retired?
Gunnar Nelson fights like once a year when we are in his neck of the woods so we can get a paycheck to fight at home.
And my point is, though, is he's mainly a grappler. He's got a little bit of stand-up. You put the two of them together, I think it makes for a fun fight. Hermanson's mainly a grappler, not really a wrestler a whole lot. He hasn't been wrestling lately. So that's a fight. Or you give him like someone like Ponzinibbio, who's just a fun fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you could do just a random, because there's a bunch of random fights to be had. Chaos Williams, like you said, Ponzinibbio. There's a bunch of, and I'm looking at the list here. There's a bunch of random fights between guys that are like Vicente Luque. That dude needs a win or to retire. Gilbert Burns needs a win or retire. So there's a bunch of random fights like that. It's just what you want to use him for.
And then for Orlby, man, I had D-Rod. If he's going to stay at 70, I got him mixed up at D-Rod. You know, he could try to take D-Rod down. D-Rod's got good, decent takedown defense, but he's also just real wild on the feet. And I think Orlby is one of those guys that can make it a fun fight on the feet, even if he can't get the takedown. But if he does get the takedown, I think that D-Rod will make it interesting on his way back up to his feet.
I say Nicholas Dalby. He just beat a Dagestani, right? And he's got this ridiculous, insane cardio. I get he's old, but he's managing to get wins he shouldn't win. He wasn't supposed to beat Gabriel Monfim. He did. He wasn't supposed to beat Saigig, whatever his name is, but he did. He ended up going to a draw with Renat because he lost the first 2 rounds, but stayed so busy that in the 3rd round, he almost found a finish. So I think you give him Nicholas Dalby, then we'll see what happens with a little bit of adversity if you get a little tired and go there. It's a couple steps up from where he is in the rankings.
Makes sense. Cortez Acosta, the guy that you were in a movie with. I mean, I want to just brag.
Him and I were in a movie together. The true statement.
Blow up your head a little bit. Say, hey, man, you were with an A-lister, you know, Cortez Acosta, you know, in a movie. It's like a D-level movie, but it's still there. It's available
on streaming. Solid reviews overall.
Solid
reviews. Boys are in it. Me and Jacob.
Amazon?
It's on Amazon. At many places it's available, but Amazon is.
To be honest, I'm a little peanut butter and jelly.
There you go.
Peanut and jelly.
You've
got Cortez Acosta. Who do you have him matched up against? And Gadziev, who do you have him matched up against?
Well, Cortez Acosta, first of all, you said you go first and you haven't. So that's
okay. I know because you keep stepping on me.
I stepped on you. You said, who do you have next? I stepped on you. Where did I step?
Orlby and Hermanson. You stepped ahead. I was going
step over you. You're fucking Labubu height. Anyway,
275. I mean, you're gonna fall on me. That's why I gotta curl up into a ball so I don't get crushed. Look, I'm going to go with Cortez Acosta. I know he just lost 2 fights ago to Sergey Pavlovich. I'm not going to match that up because I was thinking
a decision. He lost a decision, but I agree. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to, but I would like to see him fight Volkov. Volkov's not going to try to take him down. You got to deal with the reach, the range, the push kick, all those things. The push kick into the gut's going to really have an effect on him, because that gut hangs over a little bit. But I think the explosiveness and the power that he possesses could end that fight at any moment. It's definitely a good fight. The two of them stand up and trading, and that puts him one step closer to a title shot. Right now, he's got 2 wins. He's like number 7 or number 6, somewhere in there. He needs to get up into that top 2 or 3. The only way to do it. Doesn't matter how active you are. You can't get up in the rankings so you beat the guys ahead of you. So I'd like to see him get that opportunity. He is the most active heavyweight I think we've seen in forever. So he fought 5 times this year, and we still have another month left in the year.
Yeah, he fought, he knocked out Ryan Spann. I don't know what month that was, but it was 2025. Then he knocks out decision to Sergey Spivak, loses to Pavlovic. Then we just watched him beat Ante Dalia, and then obviously Shamil Gaziev. So 5 times this calendar year.
He said he already contacted Dana White and was trying to get on the December card.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is when Waldo Cortez Acosta first came, this is how fickle some fans are. When he first came into the UFC and he was doing the salsa, he was salsa boy. He was doing the salsa dancing, winning decisions. People were like, this guy sucks. He's boring. Stick to fighting. This is dumb. Why are you dancing? People did not like him. And I was all by myself on an island picking him to win fights. I thought he was, and I was wrong, but I thought he was going to beat Sergey Pavlovic. I was like, we just watched Pavlovic lose to somebody with a snappy jab. Waldo Cortez Acosta is athletic. He's fast. Waldo Cortez Acosta could absolutely win that fight. And people jumped down my throat. There wasn't a person on this planet that agreed with me. And ultimately, they were correct. But he loses a somewhat close decision, comes back, wins 2 fights in a row. Now he's the biggest fan favorite in the world. People love him, talking about he's a pirate. Like, people love him now. So the 180 that he's done in his, image is absolutely insane. And I agree. He's ranked number 6. You got to fight somebody higher than you. Cyril Gane is likely fighting Tom Aspinall again. Jalton Almeida just lost. You could do the Jalton Almeida fight, but I think he's earned a fight with Volkov. Do the Volkov fight.
I don't want to give him Almeida. Almeida's going to take him down, maul him. It's going to be
why destroy a hype train you just built?
Yeah, and then when you have an active heavyweight, that's like a godsend for the UFC. Yeah. Like, oh my God, this guy knocks people out and he wants to fight as much as possible. I'll take it. I'll do whatever I can. The Volkov fight to me is the fight to make. Should be a very good fight. Gadziev, though, I think what you do is you go him and Ante Dalia. One of them's got to get a win.
I mean, that dude's fight with a mirror every day of his life. The objectively ugliest dude this weight class has ever seen. And it's unfortunate because this is the only career path, right? This is it. Even radio, you can tell what he looks like through radio. So this is the only career path for him. And it's unfortunate that he's losing like this because he came forward, he was landing clean, and then boom, just absolutely slept. We watched him get beat by Jairzinho Rozenstruik because he was even fatter than he is now and got tired in that fight. I think you give him Ante Dalia. Yeah, I think Ante Dalia, they're both a little older. They're both, can get finished. They can finish other people. Just give him Ante Dalia and get one of them win.
Yeah, one of them gets a win. I mean, look, let's be honest, man. Gadziev and you have about the same amount of hair. And you guys are probably close to about the same size.
This is a tumor. I mean, that's not true.
You're 275 pounds. He's about 275.
He looks like a melted candle. I at least have some actual definition going on here.
Oh,
no, I'm probably faster too. How tall is he? I think he's taller than I am. He's 6'4".
Jeez, he's your height.
He is tall. He's taller. I'm 6'3".
He's a big boy.
He's taller than I am.
I give him Ante Dalia. Now let's talk about Horiguchi versus Ulanbekov. Horiguchi looked absolutely fantastic. I actually put out a tweet right before this, and I said, Ulanbekov's my boy. Trained with him when he was young. Came to AKA. I'm cheering for him. I wanted to get this done. But Horiguchi is a horrible fight for anyone. Very tough fight for anyone. He's so fast, so explosive, got heavy hands. His movement, his lateral movement, all these things. He's a dangerous fight for anybody. I knew this was going to be a tough fight. Very good takedown defense. Hard to trap into a corner to even get to his legs. And when I started hearing the commentary talk about how Ulanbekov was struggling to make the weight,
he looked like death on the scale. Did you see his weigh-in picture? He looked bad.
Had a very tough weight cut. It definitely concerned me. I was like, man, because I know that Horiguchi can go. This guy can go. He's still the same guy in round 1 that he'll be in round 5. All that guy does is fight title fights. Everywhere he's went. He was he fought DJ, lost to DJ for the UFC title. He had a very good run in the UFC. There was no reason for him to leave. And then he left. He went over, became the Bellator champion, became the Ryzen champion. He's been successful everywhere. I expected him to be successful in the UFC. Sadly, it just came to my boy's hands at Ulanbekov. So I look at it, I think to myself, Horiguchi needs to fight because he's getting a little bit older. He needs to fight somebody in that top echelon of fighters. It's got to be Brandon Moreno, who I know is matched up. Okay, but I'm simply saying, like, it's got to be somebody in that mix. Brandon Moreno, or he fights the loser of Pantoja and Joshua Van.
Why? Have him. You don't have to go all the way up. The Brandon Moreno is number 3 in the world. You could do a Brandon Royval for an exciting fight. You could do Steve Erceg, most overrated dude in the division, or you can just do like Amir Albazi, somebody like that. Also, he's coming off a little bit of a loss. Amir was somebody they were hyping for a while, all in the top 10.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I need, like, with somebody like Horiguchi, to the hardcore fans, he's got a pretty big name. Like, he's earned, I think, a little bit more than just like, hey, let's give him like an Albazi. Let's,
then do Royval. That guy just gets after it. That's what gave Van a title shot.
He's already got a win over Manel Kopp. There's guys like, I wouldn't go below that, and I would put him right in that mix of the Brandon. I'm fine with the Royval, but isn't Royval injured?
No, he's not injured. He's booked on the last card of this year. He's fighting Manel Kopp.
Gotcha.
But win or lose, and the reason I'm saying him and not like if he wins, even if Royval loses, Royval is still a great springboard fight for anybody if you beat him, because he's active, he's durable. He set a record with Josh Van with the most amount of significant strikes landed in a fight, any weight class. It's insane how busy he is. The only unbooked person in the top 10 right now is Steve Erceg. And I think that dude's an overrated bum who should have lost his last fight.
Wow. So vicious.
Yeah, bum was harsh. I do think he's overrated though, and I think he should have lost his last fight. O'Day Osborne had him 99% knocked out.
He changed the game plan and took over
for no reason whatsoever. No, O'Day changed the game plan for no reason whatsoever.
No, because Erceg decided to wrestle in round 2. That's what changed the game.
O'Day engaged in the wrestling instead of just stepping off and hitting the dude in the face again.
He couldn't stop it. He was afraid of the takedowns. All right, calling people bum.
Yeah, no, I was harsh.
Starting to sound like Guru.
No, where that's coming from is every time his fan base, the New Zealanders and the Australians, they ride for him, and it's like, guys, he's not that guy. He had a close fight with Pantoja. It has not been great since then, but I do think he's a very good measuring stick for somebody like a Horiguchi, former title challenger.
I look at the fight that I really want to see is because of the size, the height, all that stuff is Joshua Van versus Horiguchi. That's the fight I want to see. I want to, both of them will stand, both of them will trade. Both of them can wrestle. They'll just choose not to, and they'll stand and trade. It'll be a great action-packed fight. Both of them have some power. Both of them are great boxing. That's the fight that I want to see. How do I get him to Joshua Van? That's what I want to know. That's the fight that I want the most.
Josh Van fights in a couple of weeks for the belt. Likely loses. If he wins, that's incredible. Likely loses to Pantoja, so you just do it then.
I think Horiguchi and Pantoja is a great fight. They train together. They know each other. The ring rust might be just knocked off. We've already know what each other can do. There's no reason for us to sit here and fill out for the first round or 2 rounds. Let's get after it. We know what the game plan is. Let's just fight. That could be a fantastic fight.
The problem is this is kind of I don't want to say a weak weight class, but it's not the deepest weight class. Pantoja's already beat everybody. If Pantoja were to lose, I think he's earned an immediate rematch.
Absolutely.
Depends how he loses, obviously. If he just gets beat for 20 minutes, just dogged and has no success, it's kind of hard to book the rematch. I doubt that's going to. If he loses, I think he gets caught because he's a little older. Maybe he gets buzzed by the young kid. He can't get out of there, but I mean, I think Pantoja wins, so I don't think it's a factor. But
interesting. And then what do you do with Ulanbekov?
I think Tagir has to move up. He looked awful in that fight. He was slow. He was tired. Like, he just didn't look good. So what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to destroy yourself to lose to anybody who's a little faster than you. Like, that version of Tagir would have lost to Asu Almabayev. Somebody just busy dancing around. He can't, because Tagir's not like athletic or fast. He's just good. He's got skills. He does have some dog in him. and he can slow the pace to what he wants. He can get a hold of you, slow this whole thing down. But if he can't get a hold of you because you're bouncing around like Horiguchi was, or how a Sue fights, then what's he going to do? So he has to. It's too much of a weight cut. He's got to go to 35.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think there were some comments by Islam directly after the fight saying like, yeah, he struggled with the weight cut. It was just too much. And it just showed, I think, in the fight. And I would have to agree. I looked at him and I looked at the size of Horiguchi. I'm like, this guy's fighting at 125. Like, yeah. I mean, he has physically filled out. I took a look at his face. Also, I'm like, your face has changed. Like, you become like a man. You're not a kid. You don't have a baby face anymore. You've matured. And like now it's going to be even more difficult for you to make the 125-pound weight limit. Jump on up. I think some of the hesitation is that Umar is there. I don't think that they're going to ever cross paths. Ulanbekov's got a lot of work to do if he's going to try to get up to where Umar is. And you can stay busy there. If you have the conditioning and the cardio, I think at 135, he's got the body size to do it. He's just got to keep the weight on and he's got to build it up. Take a little bit of time. Maybe build up your muscle until after Ramadan. You know what I mean? And then reinvent yourself as you get into like International Fight Week.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of matchups to be had too at 35. Like a lot of good guys that aren't quite, like a Chris Gutierrez I'm looking at here, a Jonathan Martinez, Kyler Phillips. There's a lot of like good people that would be very interesting matchups that you don't need to mess around in the top 10. We're even in top 20. And if he does really well because he does have cardio now and he's not sucked out, and well, then we can start to creep him up.
Yeah, I had him matched up with the Kyler Phillips going up to 135.
Yeah, it's not a terrible fight. And Kyler should push the pace. So then we'll find out. Do you just have bad cardio or is it the weight cut?
Yeah, I don't think he has bad cardio. I really believe it's the weight cut.
I mean, he's tremendous. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and talk about one guy on the prelims, and that's obviously Alexander Topuria. Needs an honorable mention. I didn't think he looked great in the first round. I thought he lost
headhunting. Yeah, he was headhunting.
And he was really just kind of letting the fight develop, and he was getting the speed was definitely a factor. He was having a hard time finding the mark, but in rounds 2 and 3, he found his mark. He found his mark, and I thought he absolutely great. I think it's time to get him into that top 15, somewhere in that mix. And what I do with him is I give him somebody that is getting a little bit older in age, and they can box, and is mainly a boxer now, and I give him Rob Font.
Rob Font's a great measuring stick for anybody. Real quick with Topuria, I felt like the tides turned there because Beksat was clearly the faster fighter and Topuria was just trying to knock his head off. And then Beksat shot that takedown and Alexandre Topuria had the nicest headlock I have seen in MMA. It was unbelievable. Beksat shoots the takedown, comes up to the upper body, and Topuria just immediately turns the hips, barely grabs the head. It was such a good freaking headlock, and his hips were so perfect. He didn't even need to grab the head. And he just went, whoop, launched him. Just 5-point throw, launched him. And once they were on the ground, the skill gap was very wide. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was almost like with RDR and Bo Nickel. Once he felt the difference on the ground, it like a bulb went off. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to take this dude down now. So then in the second round, he started wrestling. And then once he wrestled, the hands were open on the feet. And then he took over. But did you see that headlock? Were you watching the fights? You kind of, dude, no. When I saw that headlock, I was like, that was beautiful. Like that was so nice.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I also looked at it and I thought to myself, once he did feel that, like, once I get this fight to the ground, it's completely a different fight.
Yeah,
and then he just wore on him. And then in the third round, he realized I've tired him out enough to where he's tired now on the feet. The pop is not there. The speed's not there. This guy can't wrestle with me. And now I got to do is just touch him up, try to get him out of there. He looks fantastic, man. In the second and third round is when he came alive. And he needed to because the leg kicks were having an effect there.
He didn't. He made zero adjustments whatsoever. The only reason he got the headlock is because Beksat shot a takedown. He didn't initiate that. He made no adjustments to the leg kicks because those were bad, and he was headhunting. If Beksat just stayed on the outside and never shot a takedown, the fight might not have gone this way.
That's always been the take, though, but no one's ever really been able to do it against Ilia Topuria. Is the leg kicks are there, the way they stand, the way that they kind of cross their legs when they step left to right. They don't push off the back leg and step with the lead leg. They actually like cross with the back leg and then move the lead leg, which is basically considered to be a no-no. You never cross your feet, especially with kicks. That just opens things up. I have no base now, and when I start to fall, and that's exactly what happened in the earlier rounds. And then it just changed. He just got away from the kicks and was getting mauled on the ground. and then the boxing opened up in round 3.
Yeah.
I got him against Rob Font. I wouldn't be afraid of the Marcus McGee fight either, but I just thought, like, okay, look, that's a good fight.
Marcus is tough.
He's tough. He's tough. He'll take a shot, deliver a shot. But Marcus McGee is ranked below Rob Font. Rob Font, though, once you get Topuria into Rob Font area, there's no going backwards.
Rob Font's just not dangerous. That's why he's a good measuring stick, because he's not dangerous.
Yeah.
But he's good, he's clean, but he's not going to, the odds of him knocking you out are pretty low. Where Marcus McGee is like, I think Marcus McGee is very, very good. I don't hate it. Give him Hani Barcelos. That dude's 42 years old. He just keeps winning fights 4 in a row. It's crazy.
Do you want to give him an older fighter that if he does lose, now your prospect is gone? I mean, that's why I was hesitant to give him Marcus McGee. And I think with Rob Font, I think he's got a good chance of beating Rob because it's mainly boxing.
Yeah.
And he can wrestle Rob down to the ground, as we saw. He can get the takedown. I think the discrepancy on the ground will be just as much as we saw Saturday night. I think that's the fight to make. And plus the name. I could build him from there.
Yeah.
Marcus McGee is he's got a little bit of a name, but not the Rob Font name.
Yeah, all the danger, none of the springboard. Yeah. The only other fighter I'll mention, and I don't have a matchup or anything, I just want to do an honorable mention here. Freaking Alex Perez, man. That guy's good. Yeah. He's just had a rough go. He is good, man. He was winning that fight. He was winning his last fight against Tatsuro Taira, but his knee blows out. He knocks out Mataus Nicolau. He loses to Mohamed Makayev in a pretty close fight. He loses to Alexandre Pantoja. He loses to Divas and Figueiredo. Like, this dude's he's lost 5 of his last 6. 2 of his last 2, he was winning. Like, it's just such a shit situation for that guy because he's very good. They're probably going to cut him. He's very good, like very good.
There's no way they're cutting him. There's no way.
He's lost 5 of 6.
I know, but there's just no way. The guy's got the talent. He's good,
came out, and he's young.
He was winning that fight, like you said. I felt like he was dominating the fight.
Oh yeah,
one mistake, man. One mistake.
I know. It just sucks so bad.
And that shit got latched on quick.
Oh yeah,
it was quick. I was like, oh, he ain't getting out of that. His arm was in deep around the body, and then he just jumped Gilly, and I'm like, oh. No,
it was over, fast and tight. Yeah, it was a crazy.
Horrible mistake by standing on his feet. Like, you drop to the ground, throw your shoulder in the chest, try to relieve the pressure, turn your head sideways, kind of try to do what Arman Sarukian did, like basically try to like roll through, but your arm is stuck in that situation. His arm was stuck, but like at least turn and put your body sideways and put pressure underneath the chin or in the chest and the sternum. And he just didn't do it. He stood on his feet, and when you stay up on your feet, man, you're giving the guy all the power to lean back and really grip in, and there was just nothing there. He made a mistake, huge mistake, but he made a mistake. I like him as a fighter. I hope they don't cut him. I can't imagine they would, but
I mean, maybe they don't. I mean, he just beat Mataus Nicolau. The problem is he lost 5 of 6.
I know.
But once you factor in who he's losing to, it's like these are all top 10 people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and he was beating 2 of them. He objectively beat Tatsuro Taira in the first round. Objectively beat him.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say, man, your brain started working as we started doing the shows more today. So I'm glad.
Oh, yeah.
It opened up at the end. Yeah, I mean, he deserves it. Alex Perez deserves a little bit of notoriety and love because, look, like you said, he's just coming off some shitty ass, but bad luck almost.
Yeah,
he made a mistake on Saturday. He made a mistake, but like it feels like bad luck. Like, damn, like what did you do to deserve this fucking karma?
It is tough. Man. It is tough.
Oh. All right, well, hey, guys, if you guys liked our picks, if you didn't like our picks, throw some names down in the chat, in the comments. Let us know. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support us. And this is another episode of Bad Takes.